Hello, my dear students. Welcome to Sankalp Learning Classes. Today we are discussing the important questions from the evolution chapter. So this is also one of the important chapter. From this chapter, total 7 mark questions will be asked. Okay. So MCQs, 2 mark and 3 mark questions will be asked. 2 MCQs and 2 mark question 1 and 3 mark question 1 total 7 marks. ಸೊ ಈ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ 2 MCQ ನ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಹಾಗೆ 2 mark ಕ್ವಶನ್ 1 ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, 3 mark ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಟೋಟಲ್ 7 marks. 5 mark ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಈ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಇಂದ ಕೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ, ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಯುವರ್ ಬ್ಲೂ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್. ಓಕೆ. So we are in the first session we are discussing the multiple choice question. Now first session ಅಲ್ಲಿ multiple choice question ಅನ್ನ discussion ಮಾಡೋಣ. Second session ಅಲ್ಲಿ we are going to discuss the 2 mark and 3 mark question. Okay. So ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಯನ್ನ ಶುರು ಮಾಡೋಣ. The first question is, which of the following equation represents the Hardy-Weinberg equation? You know the Hardy-Weinberg statement, Hardy-Weinberg law. So according to that, so which of the equation is given? So option A, P square plus Q square is equal to 1. Option B, P square plus Q square is equal to 0. Option C, P square plus 2PQ plus Q square is equal to 1. Option D, P square plus Q square whole square. Here the Hardy-Weinberg equation is P square plus 2PQ plus Q square, that is equal to 1. Okay, so option C is the correct answer. Next question. Single step large mutation leads to speciation. Means option A, saltation. Option B, mutation. Option C, natural selection. Option D, genetic drift. Okay. Here, single step large mutation. It is not called as a mutation. Mutation that is caused due to the deletion of or addition of the DNA base pairs, right? So that is a mutation. Here natural selection which is not a single step large mutation, and genetic drift is also not a single step large mutation. Here the single step large mutation leads to speciation, means that is a saltation. Option A is the correct answer. Next question. Here, what is the meaning of the, just a minute. What is the meaning of the, the meaning of mutation, natural selection, and genetic drift? Then what is the meaning of the genetic drift? Here, a random process that causes the frequency of alleles in a population to change over the time. That is called as a genetic drift. So it is not a single step large mutation. So the correct answer is saltation. Next question. The total genes and their alleles in a population is genome, gene pool, gene frequency. The total number of genes, so the organism's genome, it is not a total number of genes and their alleles. Here, gene, it is not a total number of genes, right? So it will not represent the genes and their alleles. Gene frequency, which is also not represent the total genes and their alleles. So the correct answer is option B, gene pool. Gene pool means the total genes and their alleles in a population. Next question. The chemical evolution of life was experimentally proved by Louis Pasteur, Oparin and Haldane, Stanley Miller, Charles Darwin. Here, the chemical evolution of life. So, the theory of chemical evolution is given by the Oparin and Haldane. Alva? Oparin and Haldane, they had given the chemical evolution of life. So, theory. So, they provide the theory. But Louis Pasteur, so the experiment is related to the spontaneous generation. So he told that by experimentally he proved that spontaneous generation is not possible. All the organisms, they develop from the pre-existing living organisms. So that is the Louis Pasteur's experiment, Swan Neck experiment it is also called. And Charles Darwin, so his experiments related to the evolution, not a chemical evolution. Here, the correct answer is Stanley Miller. Stanley Miller experiment, that is related to the uh, chemical evolution of life, that is experimentally proved by Stanley Miller experiment. Option C is the correct answer. Next question. Brain size of Neanderthal man is. What is the brain size of the Neanderthal man? So it is 104 1400 cc, 1350 cc, 1500 cc, 650 cc. Yes, brain size of Neanderthal man is 1400 cc. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಬ್ರೈನ್ ಸೈಜ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಹೋಮೋ ಹ್ಯಾಬಿಲಸ್ ಆರ್ ಹೋಮೋ ಇರೆಕ್ಟಸ್, ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ಲಿ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಇವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ the evolutionary how they evolved, so different stages of the human evolution and where they lived, where their bones or the some other parts are identified, first identified in this in which place. So ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾವ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಆಗಿತ್ತು, ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಈ ತರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಬಿ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ವಿತ್ ದಿಸ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. Chemical theory of origin of life given by Stanley Miller, Spallanzani, Oparin and Haldane, Louis Pasteur. Here, already I told chemical theory of origin of life is given by Oparin and Haldane. The chemical evolution, so that is experimentally proved by Stanley Miller and Louis Pasteur's by this experiment, by his experiment, he proved that there is a every organisms, so that is able to produce, that is produced by the pre-existing living organisms. So that is proved by the Louis Pasteur's experiment. Next question. The earliest geological time period among the following is Cambrian, Permian, Jurassic, and Quaternary. Here, the earliest geological time period is the given is, yes, Cambrian, Permian, then Jurassic, Quaternary. Here, option A is the correct answer. That is, Cambrian is the earliest geological, means that is the oldest. So then after that, Permian, Jurassic, and Quaternary. Next question. The experiment that simulated conditions thought to be present on the early Earth. So what are the conditions so that are present on the early Earth? Hershey-Chase experiment. So through that experiment they proved. So Geiger-Marsden experiment, Miller-Urey experiment, Schehallien experiment. So here, so these three experiment, Hershey-Chase experiment, which is not related to the evolution, which is related to the genetic material, and these two, which is not related to this experiment. The correct answer is Miller-Urey experiment or Urey-Miller experiment. Stanley Miller experiment also it is called. Next question. Example of homologous organs. What is the example of homologous organs? Homologous organs means they have the similar structure, anatomical structure, similar anatomy, but their function is different. Their function is different. The arm of human and wing of a bird, wing of an insect and wing of a bird, they perform the same function, but same the organisms, the parts of the body which is not performing the same functions in case of the homologous organ. So option B is wrong one. Leg of a dog and leg of a spider, leg of a spider, both are used for the movement. So this is also not correct answer. None of these. Here, the arm of the human and wing of the bird, they have the similar anatomy. So their forelimbs and their radius, ulna, so they all are similar, but their function is different. So human arm is used for the different purpose and the wing of a bird is used for the different purpose. So the option A, so that is the homologous organ. Okay. The correct answer is option A, the arm of a human and wing of a bird. Next question. Observation of species on dash heavily inspired Darwin's theory of evolution, where he observed the these a species, different species diversion. So here, Guatemala, first one, Ihada, Quameda grain, Guatemala, Faroe Islands, Galapagos Island. Mainly, Charles Darwin, he observed and inspired the great species diversity in the Galapagos Island. Option D is the correct answer. Next question. The biggest dinosaur found on the earth was, which was the biggest dinosaur? Here, Tyrannosaurus rex, Ichthyosaurus, Thecodont, Pelycosaurus. Here, this Ichthyosaurus, that is uh, the reptile which is living on in water also, Ichthyosaurus. Here the biggest dinosaur found on earth was Tyrannosaurus rex. So this is the biggest dinosaur. Option A is the correct answer. On the Origin of Species was written by Charles Darwin, Lyudmila Kuprionova, Mikhaila A. Fedonkin, none of this here. So the remaining scientists, so these all are wrong. The correct option is Charles Darwin. The Origin of Species, it was written by Charles Darwin. Next question. Alfred Wallace, a naturalist who worked in. So he is also a naturalist who worked in Galapagos Island, Malay Archipelago, Andaman. So he worked in Malay Archipelago. So option B is the correct answer. Next question. The first human-like being, Homo habilis, Homo erectus, Homo sapiens, Neanderthal man. So here, Homo sapiens, so they are the modern man, alva? Homo habilis, Homo erectus, Neanderthal man. So the first human being, human-like structure, human-like, so which is more similar to the human. So which one is the correct answer here? Option A, Homo habilis. Here, correct option is Homo habilis. He is more human-like structures. Option A. Hugo de Vries worked on which of the following plants? Pisum, Lythrinus, Evening Primrose, Mirabilis. So he worked on the plant, so that is a evening primrose. So option C is the correct answer, that is evening primrose. Next question. Brain capacity of Homo habilis was 750 to 850 cc, 900 cc, 650 to 800 cc, 1400 cc. The brain capacity of Homo habilis was. Here, the brain capacity of the Homo habilis was 650 to 800 cc. So, ಇಲ್ಲಿ human evolution ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ brain capacities ಇರ್ಬೋದು, where they first found. So, ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲನೂ ಕೂಡ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Option C is the correct answer. 650 to 800 cc. Next question. Australian marsupials are example for adaptive radiation, convergent evolution, industrial melanism, divergent evolution. Here, Australian marsupials. So, from these marsupials, different varieties of organisms are developed. Yeah, so that is example for the adaptive radiation. The organisms which are moved from that region to another region, they develop the different characteristics which are suitable for that environment. So that is called as a adaptive radiation. Here, convergent evolution, that is a example for the analogous organs are the example for the convergent evolution. And industrial melanism, so that is the example of the moth. So in England, after the industrialization, how the moths, white moths are numbers decrease. So that is the industrial melanism. Divergent evolution, so homologous organs. So they are having the similar anatomy, but they are used to perform the different functions. So that is the divergent evolution. Here the correct answer is adaptive radiation. Next question. A type of natural selection in which more individuals acquire mean character value is called stabilizing selection, directional selection, disruptive selection, dominant selection. Here, the it is a type of the natural selection which more individuals acquire a mean character. So that is a directional selection. Here, what is stabilizing selection, what is disruptive selection, and what is dominant selection, that you should know. ಅದರ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲೈಸಿಂಗ್ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಂಡ್ ಡಿಸ್ರಪ್ಟಿವ್ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು. ಸೊ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಲರ್ನ್ ದ meaning through the diagram. Next question. First human like creature was named as Homo erectus, Homo habilis, Australopithecus, Neanderthal man. Here, the first human-like creature was named as Homo erectus. The correct, sorry, Homo habilis, not Homo erectus, Homo habilis. The first human-like creature was named as Homo habilis. Here, Darwin pinches are good example of industrial melanism, connecting link, adaptive radiation, convergent evolution. Here, Darwin pinches. In the Galapagos Island, Darwin observed the different types of the pinches in the birds, but they are having the common ancestral. So all the different varieties are developed from the single ancestor. So that is example for the adaptive radiation. Option C is the correct answer. Next question. Embryological support for evolution was also proposed by Ernest Haeckel, Oparin and Haldane, Stanley Miller, Darwin. Here Oparin and Haldane, Stanley Miller, so their experiment related to the chemical evolution. So experimental proof for the chemical evolution and theory of the chemical evolution is given by the Oparin and Haldane. Here the correct answer is embryological support for the evolution. That is by the Ernest Haeckel. Means if you observe the embryological stages of the different organisms, reptiles, birds and mans, the early stages are similar in all these types. So that according to this, he says that all the organisms, they are evolved. So that is the embryological support for the evolution. Next question. Analogous organs arise due to divergent evolution, artificial selection, genetic drift, convergent evolution. Analogous organs means they have the similar function, they have the or same function, they have the same function, but analogous organs, they have the same function but different structure, different anatomy or different structure. So that leads to the convergent evolution. Option D is the correct answer. Next question. The chronological order of human evolution from early to the recent. Option A, Australopithecus, Ramapithecus, Homo habilis, Homo erectus. Option B, Ramapithecus, Australopithecus, Homo habilis, Homo erectus. Option C, Ramapithecus, Homo habilis, Australopithecus, Homo erectus. Option D, Australopithecus, Homo habilis, Ramapithecus, Homo erectus. Here, the first man man-like organisms, they are called as Ramapithecus. So that is the correct answer. First is Ramapithecus. Option B and C, we can see the Ramapithecus. But so after that, directly not Homo habilis are developed. After that, Australopithecus, then the Homo habilis and the Homo erectus. Option B is the correct answer. Ramapithecus, Australopithecus, Homo habilis, Homo erectus. So dear students, please note down the important features of the Ramapithecus, Australopithecus, Homo habilis and Homo erectus and their brain capacities and when they were found, so where they were found. So this is also very important for this. Next question. The occurrence of more than one adaptive radiation is isolated geographical area results in. The occurrence of more than one adaptive radiation is an isolated geographical area results in genetic drift, divergent evolution, convergent evolution, saltation. So here saltation means single step large mutation, that is called as a saltation. Alva. Here you know the meaning of the genetic drift. Divergent evolution, convergent evolution. Here the correct answer is option C, convergent evolution. Next question. When did dinosaurs die off? 1.5 105.1 million years ago, 65.5 million years ago, 75.5 million years ago, none of the above. Here, option B is the correct answer, that is 65.5 million years ago, the dinosaurs die off. So these are the some important MCQs for your board exams. I hope this will be useful for you people. Okay. Thank you.